All right, welcome back. This is turn 52 of Let's Learn series. This is focused on teaching and learning Dominions 6. I am by no means an expert, but I wanted to play this series to show kind of the decision-making process that goes into Dominion 6 game. And we're kind of entering the late game. The first 50 turns went by very quickly, and I expect to start playing about one turn a day. You have messages here for resolution from the turn. I've got a bunch of notes to kind of walk through. I've already queued up my turn. I'm going to walk through that. So, picking up where we left off last time, we successfully summoned 70 storm demons. We also tacked on a few additional things just for science. Specifically, we made a bunch of blood vials. We made 3 blood vials to be specific, at a cost of 7 blood slaves per. Those give 1 temporary blood slave as a gem for combat casting. I'm not entirely sure that was actually worth it, but it was a pretty low cost, so I'm just going to try it. Let's see, anything else from the messages here on resolution? We did not find anything from arcane probing. We made blood vials. Oh, this is important. Remnants of our dead prophet's power have left this world. So Machaka killed my prophet a little bit ago. That was great. So now I get to reissue a prophet. I've chosen a prophet for that. We'll talk about what went into that. Blood hunting is back in full effect. You can see successfully hunted out. Oh, that's pretty decent haul. That's almost 80. There was a battle here. This one did stand out to me because this is the one where Abyssia, my friend, and the only other player in the game, has 107 lava warriors. These are his sacreds. You can see he pretty well cleaned house. He lost 7, but he did manage to kill the Titan god for Pangea. So I kind of expect him to steamroll his way through to victory, claim the forts, and kind of pick up steam because he has a lot more potential provinces to annex. His troops are in a good position. Um, I cast Traverse or whatever. I set up what's called a hair spell, which is a Dominion's enhanced mod exclusive spell. This is to allow faster transportation of Acker belts, because where I am recruiting Acker belts from is pretty deep into my territory, and I want to set up a forward deployment zone, basically a rally point, probably towards the south. Depends on how the wars progress, but I know that we'll have that set up, and I'll show that in just a second. Nothing else really jumped out. Magic scales went up worldwide. Ind had an unlucky loss on a province. Religious misconceptions are solved. It says that it was lost, but I actually ended up catching him here. That's taken care of. There's some patrolling that needs to be done in our back line. Cestius, this was a scout that I caught out, and the rest is just patrolling, and I added some blood vials to my inventory. So here we are, Pyrene. Still only 3 cap circle provinces. Goal is now to get Vulcan. We're going to wait one more turn. Conjuration is 509 research points left. We're just researching pretty heavily this month, so we're getting 1248. I want to wait out Conjuration 6 and then summon in a bunch of lions. And there is, again, I'm looking at kind of all these Dominions enhanced mod spells, and one of those is this one here. Summon Pride of Legend, and at a cost of 15 nature gems, this seems like a pretty sweet deal. You get 8 total Chithrionic lions, and so this is kind of something I was talking about last time. I want to test out some type of like animal build that relies on heavy summoning of animals, and then using Primal Might and animal specific buffs to try to make them a lot stronger. Last time I looked, I thought, oh, the lions themselves aren't that good. I looked up the Chithrionic lion on the Dominion's Inspector, Dom 6 Inspector, and at first I looked at their stats and I'm like, oh, it's only got protection 7, 11 defense. That's not very good. I didn't read the keywords, which if I had read the keywords, I would have changed my tune a bit. They're actually slash resistant, pierce resistant, and they have invulnerability 25. So pretty damn good, especially against non-magical attacks. So I'm kind of banking on that being a really cost-efficient spell. The typical spell of how you would recruit Kithrionic Lions, this summons 8 at a cost of 15, so roughly 2 per, a little less. Typically, you would have summoned, this is the vanilla version, summon Kithrionic Lion. 3 nature gems for 1 summon, and you're wasting an entire mage turn just to summon 1 lion. So I think that this is a pretty insane deal, and I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a big success. I'll probably blow a lot of my gems on this just to really bottom out on whether or not I can make that work. Let's see, what other notes? Nothing really. It was a pretty boring turn, which again is what I wanted. I'm trying to sit back and get my research up. I've got a really strong blood magic economy going in the late game. I think it favors me. A couple other things from my notes. What is the big bet this turn? Again, I'm just kind of waiting this turn to set up the conjuration pipeline for those lions. Prophet. My prophet was ready to reassign it, and I did go back and forth. I thought, okay, well, I have an opportunity to reset on the prophet. I could get away from doing these emerald counts, which is kind of typically what you would set as a prophet for at the start of the game. And I was like, oh, should I set an Acker Belts or a Sorgina? Like, what would that look like? Would that be better? Would that be worse? What would be the downside? And I actually think that a Sorgina would be a pretty decent profit. I went back and forth about whether to do it. Ultimately, I'm such a greedy researcher, and I like having efficient mage turns as much as possible. I decided away from it. I just didn't think it was necessary. So I stayed away from that, and I ended up walking that back, and I just made this emerald count my profit. You'll note that I gave the Emerald Count the Staff of Storms. He's going to carry the Staff of Storms, so next turn the plan is to move Emerald Count down into Vokan, bring a bunch of these down with him. We're not going to do that this turn. We're still going to just map this out. Eventually, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to bring the hammer down on Vokan just a really decisive way. I'm also going to bring back some of these guys. Why are they still moving there? I think I want these guys here. Yeah, we need to patrol out these provinces because they have unrest. And so I'm worried that these are going to get caught with some type of misfortune event. So these have pretty bad misfortune scales. Because they're not in our domain, they're in Machaka's domain, which sucks. So we gotta scout those out. So that's our profit. That was a big decision. Let's see. We already talked about Pangea, but I do want to highlight again. Kind of my speculation was that Pangea is gonna get run over, and you can see here, Abyssia did successfully siege. I actually didn't realize that was a siege battle, so I guess we can watch that and see if there's anything worth noting. Where are we? There we go. If nothing else, it's good to see his formation. Casting. Divine Blessing, Battle Fury. He's just got a shitload of Sacreds. And his Sacreds, again, nothing too crazy. It's this regeneration incarnate buff, which actually will not do that well against us. So, and he's got these crocodiles, which I have no idea what he's doing with these sacred crocodiles. I don't know if that's a... Those are sacred units. I don't know if that's an Abyssia specific unit or not, but that's hilarious. 50 hit points. So they're regenerating 5 per turn. I'm curious. Oh, we got one running away. I'm curious interesting. Alright, well, his crocodiles are running away, so they don't die, but they leave morale out. This is hilarious. Alright, I think we're gonna fast forward through this. I want to see what happens. Get the carpeted through that. Yeah, Pinja's running now. That's it. Alright. It's interesting. I've never seen crocodiles. Alright, so yeah, Pangea is making a lot of progress against, or Abyssia is making a lot of progress against Pangea, so this is definitely something, a threat to deal with in the next 3 turns. This really kind of signals that I'm going to be bringing the majority of my forces from here either down over to Sodorth, which might be the right play, because if I can just fly from Sodorth to the coast, doesn't really matter. I can start raiding him and causing problems. So that's probably what I'm going to do. I've got blood economy up too. There's a bunch of fun blood raiding spells I could use. But either way, I think this is going to be a really contested area, which actually brings me to my next point. Let's make sure we do this in order. Sleepy Wolds, I did cast this, this says Stone Circle, but it's called a Harris spell, which I'd never heard of before, but it's effectively a place where I can teleport from one Harris spell to another. Right now, this is the only Harris spell down, so for now, Sleepy Wolds is a rally point for any mages I need to move to frontline quickly. Likely we'll set up another Harris spell in Jome. It's not an immediate priority, but something to look out for. I will probably also set up a Harris spell either in Glistening Dew Forest or further down if I can get there. I don't think we'll do it here. Actually, that province is making me a pretty decent amount of money. But either way, yeah, we'll see how that works. I'm just curious if it's worthwhile. Let's see. Unexpected events. Oh, we got a saddle and a bunch of gold. That was a good event. And then in Rethendale, there is some jerk who's making my people lazy. Yeah, so last time I was talking about the strategy for skipping and removing this as a natural geographical barrier or roadblock. This is a really nice natural zone, and this is someplace I can very easily contest and is within the fort circle for Sodorth. I'll probably raid this. What I ended up doing is I've been trying to figure out what to use my god for most effectively. I forgot to mention this last time, but I did craft this unique item. This is typically a unique magic item, unique 9, unique construction 9 to make this unique magic item. For whatever reason in Dominion's Enhance, you can make this at construction 7. It's still a unique item, so you can only make one of these, which I did, but it gives me 400 gold per month, which is super nice. That being said, this turn, what I'm going to craft is, let's see, this Sea King's Goblet. And I think this is really nice. It gives a temporary water gem, great, fine. It gives a gift of water breathing for 750 size points. That's a lot. A typical human is size 3, so you could fit 200 size 3 humans in an army using just this on one commander. More than that. Um, so 250 exactly, I should have said. Um, and then the other nice thing about it is that it allows for more effective underwater combat. And you can see it has this automatic. It says start of battle spell. This is incredible. Entire battlefield. It affects all of the units. It gives people visiting the underwater realm the ability to move underwater with ease, negating some of the penalties. So there's a lot of penalties when you go underwater with non-amphibious or aquatic creatures. So this kind of negates or helps with that. It grants 2 reinvigoration and movement speed is doubled. So this is going to make it a lot easier for our units to do combat underwater where aquatic units would have the advantage. Probably not a huge factor at this point because if I'm bringing a large army underwater, I don't think a couple Ictides are going to do anything about that. But it could be really good in this situation because this is the potential to capture the throne. So that'll be really good to have. It will remove the barrier of this water province. So I'll probably set up some type of army to move across the border and start taking this and potentially threatening his territory right here and make him think about doubling back a little bit to protect this or just commit resources over here because he's going to start losing out on all of the income over here. So what else? What else? Yeah, I'm pulling the wolves back here. These are not going to do a whole lot against the centaurs other than just take the initial blow. So I'm going to put these wolves in the very front line. The goal is to just tar pit all the units in the center of the map and then absorb the lance hits from the centaur warriors and then have all of the other units come over the top. I'm also going to be casting battlefield-wide spells against them. I'm going to cast Howl, which is going to give a bunch of wolves coming in from the sides. It's going to disrupt formations. I'll probably cast like blood magic to blood rain, demoralize the enemies. Try to go for some type of rout against them. I don't know how high the morale is on these units, but I might do that. But I think between all of the sacreds and the storm demons that we're going to bring, and then a few lions, like it'll work itself out. What else? Big bets. Talked about that. We already talked about Drapnir. Pulling wolves, assigning Sorginas as prophet to capitalize on stealth and flying attributes. I actually walked that decision back. And then I already talked about forging the Sea King's Gauntlet, which will just help with our ability, our army mobility. A couple experiments and things I'm probably going to test out just because it seems fun. And it's Dominions Enhanced. This is the first time I've played Dominions Enhanced. I'm going to try the Lions build. We've already talked about that exhaustively. There's a sacrificial altar that I thought sounded kind of cool. I don't know if it's a blood, maybe it's a blood spell. Summon sacrificial altar. I don't know where that one was. It sounded interesting. I didn't know what it did, and I couldn't find any information about it online. There's an interesting conjuration spell that's an earth spell called the Enchanted Boar, and this is a unique creature that cannot be summoned if already present in the world. I was going to throw down on this. I think I have somebody. Yes, I have this guy casting that. So we're going to cast that this turn just to supplement the force a little bit. It's going to be kind of a hodgepodge. We have another Acker Belt that's going to finish next turn. And nothing else too interesting. But yeah, we've got our Blood Eco going. This is going just fine. No like climbing unrest. We're eventually going to work towards Blood Magic 8 so we can get 3 red seconds. I want to have Thaumaturgy 6 up so that I can cast Gateway. That's the big thing. I actually swapped this out this turn. So it was Conjuration 6 into Blood Magic 8. But I actually slotted in Thaumaturgy 5 and 6 because... Go to Astral. I want to be able to drop Gateway. I did not realize it was only target provinces with a lab under your control. That's a lot worse. Still good. I think it's still worth it. I don't know. Verdict's out. Maybe we'll wait on that. We do need to get to Blood Magic 8. Blood Magic 8 is just so good. Blood Magic 8 gives us 3 red seconds, which is the ability to just stand up a castle in... Oh, wait, it's a citadel. Horde of M's. Oh, it's a fortress. It's only a fortress. Wait, Mighty Citadel. It is a citadel, which is even better than a castle. I can't even build a citadel. And then, more importantly, we get Blood Vortex, which is a global enchantment. I'm the only person competing for enchantments, which says a lot. You know, I'm going to be able to bully bully out the enemy team. I should probably have some other global enchantments by now, but I'm really kind of just beelining it for certain things, just test stuff out. We're doing the unique boar. I think really next turn, I don't know whether I should be waiting. I probably shouldn't be waiting. I probably should just be going in, taking Vokan. At this point, I've waited so long. I just want to like make sure that I have a good fighting force. We have a few extra people coming in from here, so you know we'll be ready to take Vokan, and then we'll have our prophet there to cap it too. So I'm excited to see what's here. Thanks for tuning in. If you learned anything, or if you have any corrections or suggestions about what I should be doing instead of what I'm doing, let me know. I really want this to be focused on the decision-making process of the game itself. I think that a lot of the tournament replays are interesting, but I don't think it really gets a clear picture into the headspace of the players and exactly why they're making those decisions, even with the messages being sent to the omniscient caster. I think that can only convey so much. I would much rather see the perspective from the players themselves, showcasing their individual moves and justifications for that. Because I'm always wondering, like, you know, how would another player think through this? Would another player try to take Flower Meadow Forest? Is this greedy? Is In just going to come back and just, you know, take Gentle Plains and then cut me off from Jome? I don't know. Is this really worth the risk, you know, to get an additional 50 to 70 income per turn? You know, I don't know. That's what makes this game great, is there's unlimited speculation that you could do, but there's never a clear right answer. So be well. Yeah, thanks for tuning in.